Obviously, Miami's offense leads the nation in scoring. They run up and down the field every which way. How does this challenge, I guess, relate to all the challenges you faced through the first, 13 games of the season?
Yeah, I think this is, you're kind of finishing on the number one offense in the country. So, got excellent scheme, played against these guys a little bit when we were in the Fiesta Bowl. So have, respect for what they're doing and how they're doing it. The people that they're doing it with are, top of the line. So it's a great challenge. I think the biggest, for us is to understand, the amount of preparation that it's going to take to play well in this game, trying to get our guys to understand the amount of preparation, the issues they create with people and with scheme, and practicing to those standards and those kind of things. So that's a challenge that we've, working on these last few days, trying to, get our guys to really realize, the guys on film, the scheme, the tempo, all the different things are a huge task. And, the game gets going fast, and, you have to be able to think fast and be prepared, and that's all about preparation and effort at practice.
Well, these practices are always valuable, but with so many young guys who've had to play, particularly at linebacker, you're going to have a lot of new cornerbacks worked in with Darian and Miles graduating. Just how extra valuable is this, not only for this game to get those younger players more reps,
well, it's
but also
really
for next
important.
game?
It's and that group's it's a fine line for that group. Some of those guys are at the end of a semester. 13 game schedule, going to a bowl game. I've not been home, so you're dealing with young minds, and the same thing, getting them to understand how important every practice is now, getting them to understand how sitting in meetings is so important right now, because it gives you an advantage if you'll use it to the good. So we've really been kind of on the standards of what we do and how we do stuff here, and they're great reps if you're approaching them with the right mindset, and you're not just surviving it. Man, it's almost to the end, and I can't, that young mindset. You can't be a rookie anymore. You're moving on, and it's time to step in there and be a guy, and to hold yourself accountable. And it's our coach's responsibility and players' responsibility to try to keep that mindset through these practices, because it isn't easy. But it's if they're going to get better, it has to be done.
The last time you guys played down there, one of the big storylines was Isheem Young transferring, and it seemed like you guys never really flinched, and I think we see that now why with how well Bo has played. But can you take us back to that 3 years ago and your thoughts on him stepping into that role?
Yeah, I think the big thing is everybody, and again, it's part of what we're doing right now. People have to feel confident and comfortable in doing what they're doing, and that's their choices. Everybody's got choices now. And that's fair. Then the next thing is, as a coaching staff, you've got to make sure you're preparing all the pairs and spares and waiting for the next guy and all of those things. And I think as a coach's mindset, I think you're always trying to do that no matter what. I just think now, you were always trying to do that before for injuries and all the different things that could happen. And now you're doing it because some guys want to move on or do whatever that, make the choices that they make. So you're constantly trying. It's a real challenge for position coaches, I think, you have to coach every single guy every minute of every day, every hour, every minute that you get, because it could be real quick during the game. And it's a great challenge for coaches, position coaches especially. There's no minutes that you can, it will be okay. The next guy's in, and you got to be ready for it.
What did Bo do during that freshman year, if you can remember, to take advantage of what you're just talking about, to get ready and then?
Yeah, Bo's a gifted guy. Bo has some of it. He can run fast, and he's tough, and can cover and do all the things. So he athletically, was capable of doing it. His mind allowed him to learn it. He's a mentally tough guy. So in a time like this or those kind of things, man, he was excelling. He wasn't just trying to survive to the next day and get home. He was thriving to be the best he could be, and that's who he's been since he's been here. And that's what gives you a chance. And that's what, to Rob's question, that's what you're trying to get these young guys. Like, man, we're not going out to survive. Like, it's your turn now. Like you got to go. And that's a challenge for everybody, and he accepted that was not a, he loved all of that. Like, he wanted that, and that's how he's played since the day he walked in here till the day he'll walk out of here. He's the same guy.
What are your thoughts on Cam Ward, and just what kind of struggles does he give in terms of game planning, preparing for?
Yeah, yeah, he's really good. He's illegitimately, and I have a lot of respect for him. I like the way he handles himself. I just, as you watch the tape and you listen to a little bit of it, those kind of things. Like, I just think he's a young professional, very gifted and talented. You look at the throws that he can or can't make, he can make them all. There's not a throw on the field that he can't make, and I would guess if he stays healthy, he's going to be one of the 1, 2, 3 guys taken in the draft. I mean, he's that talented, very poised, again, handles himself to me like a young professional athlete that's, out there competing and has talents to make the throws. And his mind is working all the time, reading coverages, doing all those things, the progressions. You see him doing all of that stuff, and then he has the ability to make a play last. And anytime you can make a play last at quarterback, it presents a lot of problems for the defense. So, like I said, if he stays healthy, he'll be a guy I would have to think would be, 1, 2, top round.
And no reported opt-outs from Iowa State. Just what does it say about the culture here, and just the fact that everyone wants to see this through?
Yeah, I think, and again, we're at a time that's so different. I'm proud of the guys, and I think they've seen the guys that have stayed have success. I think I think some of that is real too. I think some of our guys maybe that have gone on and didn't have success, and all of a sudden the grass wasn't greener. And I think, Coach does a great job here with, the culture, the locker room. I think our players do a great job, and I think they become pretty educated. I think our guys are. I think we spend a lot of time, and Coach's group spends a lot of time on educating our guys on what's really out there and what's going on, and then you have to sort out what's best for you. And I think we've been blessed for the most part. Our guys are, bought into what we're doing, and I think they are educated about the choices that they're making, and that's all you can hope for.
What would being part of an Iowa State team to reach 11 wins mean to you?
Well, I think it would mean. I think for me, it would mean a lot, obviously, for this whole thing. It's been 133 years, and anytime you can make that step, that says a lot. So it does mean a lot, and that's what you're working for when we walked in the doors here 9 years ago. Was, man, we want to make this place special. We want to make this place different than it's ever been, and we worked really hard to do that. And I think for me, the best thing that could happen would be for this group of seniors that has led this team these last couple of years. They certainly deserve everything we've got. We didn't handle our business last week, and we've got one more chance. We've got one more chance to handle it the right way, and it's going to take everything we got with the team that we're playing against. And but I think if our guys will, put their minds to it and work at it and prepare and do all the things, we'll have a shot at it. But it's going to take everything that we have, and it would mean the most to me to see the smiles on those seniors' face of, kind of what they've accomplished, and kind of a cap on it all.
I know you had talked about your work developing the pairs, the spares, all of that, but through bowl practices so far, who have been some guys you've been impressed with, or this 15 practice? I'm not sure how many practices you'll take of that, but guys that this is going to be a big part for them in future years.
Yeah, it's a little bit different for us, Bill, like before, because a lot of our guys have been playing. But I think you see, young people, the D-line guys, Elijah and Sosa and Jace Gilbert. I think you see some stuff out of those guys that there's a bright future. You see some stuff, as those guys mentioned, about the corners. David Coffey's got a bright future. I think those are the things, Quentin Taylor. I just think there's guys that are young guys that you're starting to see a little bit that are getting some more reps maybe than they have. Our linebacker crew has been pretty much all of them out there anyways, so that group's not a whole lot different. And then you're getting some great reps for Marcus Neal at Star, and You know, Tejon and those guys are just getting some reps at safety that, you know, maybe they wouldn't have gotten. And bowl practices are priceless if they're used in the right way, and if you can get the players to understand how critical they are. And, you know, again, that's just part of the coaching process of it.
That's it. Thank you, Coach.
Great, thanks, guys. Appreciate you all.